chips don't lie. Screens glow in silence, faces lit in code. Aces crossing continents on one electric road. Your morning cup is someone's dusk, hands collide in space. Poker's universal tongue, we deal in every place. 0 hour in Denver, high noon in Bahrain. Shuffle up. Time's just another vein. World shift, no border can confine. We run the circuit on an endless line. Sydney sunrise feeding Vegas dusk. Talent meets the moment. Adapt or bust. Clock hands blur. Skills the gift. Play forever in the Syndicate world shift. Forever in the Syndicate world shift. Forever in the Syndicate world shift.
Well, poker people, it is time. Are you ready? We're ready. It is the Syndicate's World Shift, game number 5, being played on pokernow.club, a free-to-play poker client, and we are playing a free roll tournament. We have to put that disclaimer out there because otherwise they kick us off the air. Welcome aboard. It is the Syndicate Poker Club, a collection of the best tournament poker players that you will find on Poker Now. All set and ready to go on this early morning, late night. Who knows what shift it is because they're from all over the world. And we are shuffling up and dealing on hand number 1. Let's take a look at our players for tonight, or this morning, however you want to look at it. The usual suspects. We've got Casely, 4 King Ace Hole, Millie, Biggie Large. We've got Boss, Jam Rock and Roll, XRP Vixen, missing in action so far, and the ever-present Freak Child, all taking part in Game 5 of an 8-game qualifying series to make it to the final table. And we may have some stragglers as we go along with the rest of the game here. This morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, we're going to Truman show you all day long. Casely, Freak Child, both getting the hell out of that one. Forking Ace Hole going up to 250. Jammer folding out. Millie busy talking her head off as usual. And she will head out as Acer shows his pair of jacks. Like the 4 King Ace Hole he is. A few games ago, we actually had 4 King Ace Hole had a 4 King Ace on the board. It was such a beautiful moment. We'll tell you where to find us and where to play, as well as some of the games that the Syndicate has going on that you too can join. Or you might need to join the Syndicate's Under Club, the Assembly. We'll have more information for you on that here shortly. 2 aces on the board that Millie will take down. She will not show what she was betting on. Coming around to Casely, as everybody's limping in. Blinds are 25.50. Freechild bumping it up to 225. Over to Jammer, who's going to fold. Biggie Large is out. Boss. Might say that you're not going to be the boss of me. We'll find out. Apparently that is the case. Millie, the last line of defense to see a flop with a king 6-3. 2 diamonds. Freechild goes 525. Betting the pot on that one. And that will be enough with his pocket aces. Little pocket rocket action for Freechild, taking that one down. Waiting for Casely's action here. Syndicate playing over at pokernow.club. You too can play over at pokernow.club for free. Absolutely no money needs to be involved in order to play poker over there. But you can also build club, build your own games, private games, public games. From time to time, they have free rolls with cool little prizes in them. You don't get to win any money, but you get to win some cool prizes. Usually Amazon kind of stuff. Pokernow.club. Go check it out. Totally free. Get back to the action on the table here. Freechild is going to check it with a 297. Freechild's going to lay that one down. Acer with pocket tens. Boss showing she was going to be chasing. Freechild folds out. Acer's out. Jammer in the action. Texas Hold'em the game tonight. Everybody puts it, well, as before the cards are dealt out, there are 2 blind bets that are put down, 25 and 50, respectively, at the moment. To the left of the dealer button, that little white button you see in front of Boss there with the big D on it. That means she is the designated dealer dealing out the cards. Millie had to put in a small blind. Casely had to put in a big blind, 25 and 50. And those are put out before any of the cards are dealt. Then a round of betting of everybody either calling those bets or everything after the players are all dealt 2 cards face down. Yeah, we'll just show everybody your cards. What? Anyway, everybody has an option to call, raise, fold, and if it comes around where everybody limps in just like we had here, the person on the big blind has an option, what's called an option, where they can check or raise. And in this case, Casely just checked it. And then after that comes down, we have the flop, which we just saw with the 3 cards. These are community cards that are used by all players. Everybody can use these cards to make the best 5-card hand possible. Right now, we're looking at what could be a straight. Round of betting, everybody right now is not betting anything. They are doing what's called checking, which is free to do. But not in Millie's case. She wants to bet. A couple of folds in there. Now we get the river card, which is the card of tears for most players. The Jack of Hearts comes out, but the river card is the card of tears, because everybody gets beat on the river. Anyway, this is the last card that will come out. Best 5 cards will win the hand, as Millie has a pair of aces. And that's about it. And all the other players showing their cards off, showing what kind of crap they had. But Texas Hold'em, one of the more famous games in recent years, in the last 20 years almost. So, made famous by the movie Rounders, as well as the world of Chris Moneymaker in the World Series of Poker, of an online poker player winning the whole World Series of Poker and becoming a millionaire overnight. Then done again the next year by another kind of no-name person, Greg Raymer. And then the online poker world went to hell, and then it went away for a very long time, and now it's making a comeback. All sorts of different sites out there. But pokernow.club, where you can play for free. Join a club like the Syndicate Poker Club. Make your own club. Or just come out and play games and sit and go games. Some people are used to the spin and goes. They're kind of similar to that. There's just no spinner. Just a complete single game tournament, a sit and go. And everybody plays for points on the leaderboard, and Freak Out showing trip aces there. So we'll quit boring you with that. We'll bore you with some more shit. What do we got on our profile list right now? I have no idea. I like to show off some of the player profiles we've got. Well, seeing as she's taking so much time, we'll take a peek at Casely. Casely, hailing out of Colorado, she's in her 40s. Syndicate overall ranking is 4th. It's still showing up as Poker Now overall sit and go ranking 49th. But that's actually best finish is 49th in the sit and goes rankings over at pokernow.club. Annoyed by River Rats, but has also been a multi-time World Series of Poker cash finisher in the real World Series of Poker. Got two pairs sitting on the board there. 10s over 3s as both players check. Jammer will take that one down. His 7 helping him. Hop into another hand here. Blinds have gone up. They go up incrementally about every 10 minutes with the Syndicate in some of their games, in this one particular. So the blinds are now 5,100. And then up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see a blind timer. They will go up again to 100, 200 in about, what, 9 minutes, does that say? And they'll go up incrementally every 10 minutes. Speeds the game up, keeps it from being stagnant, puts a little more challenge to the players at the same time. The bigger the blinds, the more you have to start making moves, more calculated moves as the game goes on. Got a 4 queen 8 on the board. This is called a rainbow because there's one of each suit out there. As we wait for Biggie Large. Timing out. Boss will take it with an ace 8. Casely's action. She'll pop it up to 300. Reach out will fold it out. Jammer's going to play. Biggie large. Goes out, and we see a 7, 8, 10. 2 spades and a club. Casely going 3 again. Off to Jammer. No go. Boss will say no to that as well. And into another hand we go. The Syndicate, you can check them out at syndicatepokerclub.com. Player rosters, games, links, game series pages. The entire roster of the Syndicate is also there. Get a little bit more information about all the players that play with the Syndicate over at syndicatepokerclub.com. Everybody running a little slow tonight, this morning, late night. A lot of late night players here in the U.S., and then we've got a couple of players from the land down under, down in Australia. A couple of aces and a 4 on the board. Boss had a 4, 2 pair there. But no players on that one. And speaking of our land down under, jam rock and roll. English. Take a break from the mic here in a second. Hails from Australia. 68 years old. 13th overall with the Syndicate. 44th. Is the overall poker ranking, which is not correct. Well, that's correct for the overall poker ranking for Jammer. He's a guitar player and music lover, so he is annoyed most by a lack of music. Once got quad aces at the Flamingo in Las Vegas. Crazy board we were hiding from you there. Jammer, speak of the devil. Take it down with his pocket tens. We'll hold. And we will pop around to another hand. We will be back on the mic here shortly. Enjoy the action.
Triple espresso and a Mountain Dew chaser. Heart's racing like I'm dodging a laser. Over caffeinated and not drunk at all. No whiskey haze, just a caffeine brawl. Nerves on fire, but my screen is cold. This online hell's where my soul gets sold. And what I do in Mexico stays in Mexico. Sober as a monk in a poker trap. Reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. I argue with the cat, the game got tense. I wanna know where Chase went. He goes to mid-hand, just fucking left. Last I saw, he shoved with queen 5 off. Now he's in my ass. Wait, I'm in Miami. I'm talking nonsense. I'm losing the plot. I called a race with what I thought was a lot. Turns out it was a napkin and a fork. Guess I'm playing poker on a caffeine torque. The group chat's roasting, they think I'm dead. I'm Googling if caffeine fries your head. Where's Chase? Who knows? He's free and tan. While I'm here crying over rubber bands. Where the fuck is Chase with AC Slater? Sober as a monk in a poker trap. Reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. I argued with the cat and the game got tense. I wanna know where Chase went. He goes to mid-hand, just fucking left. Last I saw, he shoved with queen 5 off. Now he's in as a monk in a poker trap, reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. Let's go! Sober as a monk in a poker trap, reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. I argued with the cat in the game, hot tense. I wanna know where Chase went. He goes to mid-hand, just fucking left. Last I saw, he shoved with queen 5 off. Now he's in my ass. Wait, I meant Miami.
Well, as you can see, players apparently are tuning into the live stream as we played the song called Where's Chase? And everybody started talking about Chase. Chase, little bastard that stole Acer's lighter. Based on a true story, that song. You can find it all on the album by the Freakchild Experience, All In, All Wrong, over on Bandcamp. But we're not here for that. We're here for some poker action with the Syndicate. Playing live over at pokernow.club. Pokernow.club, where you can play for free, completely free to play poker client, free poker with friends, build a game all for yourself, build a tournament, build a club, build anything, all for free. All the stuff you have to pay premium at all the other sites for, you can do that for free at pokernow.club. So take it for a spin if you're a poker player out there, looking for something good and fun to do. The Syndicate, playing at pokernow.club in their private club tournaments, just completed 2 different 8-week qualifier series. Their first was the summer series, in which the player Leary Alice ended up winning that one. And then they finished up the Weekend Warrior Series, a grueling 16-game qualifier. Ended up getting cut short as all the qualifiers were pretty much clinched. So they ended up having their final table early, and the player Godley ended up winning that one. So 2 players with real-life bracelets that they get awarded with the Syndicate in all of their different tournament series. And they just hosted, just recently, one called Open House that they opened up to all of the Poker Now world. Had a lot of people sign up, but a lot of people a little too scared to take on the Syndicate, as the Syndicate players ended up winning that one. Jammer will take that one down with a big hefty flush. 1 card shy of a royal. Blind sitting at 100, 200 at the moment. Biggie Large will do what we call limp in, as will Boss. Millie on the option will check it. Another rainbowed flop with a queen 4-3. Boss popping for 200, and Millie and Biggie will go for the ride, and Ace of Clubs comes out on the turn. Everybody's going to wait to see what the last card is before any betting. Boss checks it. Millie says, no way. Boss thinking about it for a good long think, and Boss says no with the pocket twos. Millie had a 10 queen. Free Child popping it up to 700. Jammer. Biggie out. Boss is out. Millie going. And nobody wants to play. Free Child showing his king queen suited of diamonds. Boss, the big thinker. Loves a little hold'em. Comes from the third rock from the sun. Will not divulge an age, but the Syndicate overall ranking is 8th. And she was most annoyed by Biggie Large. Overall sit and go ranking with Poker Now 57th in the sit and goes. Big Boss Lady. Casely will take that one down. Biggie or Acer showing a whopping 7 deuce. Everybody limping in. Freak Child checks it with a Jack King of spades and an ace of clubs on the flop. Casely going 400. Half the pot there. Freak Child will call it. Another king on the turn. Freak Child betting 12. Casely calling it. Now another jack. We got 2 pair on the board. Freak Child going 200 after going 12 after his last bet. Casely going up. Freak Child going all in over the top. And both of them had the other king. Split pot. Get the soy sauce out for some chop suey. Where do we call it? Why do we call it chop suey? Because it's a chop pot, chopped in half. Chop suey. Soy sauce. Get the chopsticks. Shut up. Queen 8-5 rainbowed up on the flop. Jammer and Millie, the only ones in the hand. The 2 Australians going head to head here. Jammer going for 200. Millie will call it with a 4 of diamonds on the river. Both players will check, and Jammer will take that with a pair of aces. Ace on the turn gave him the winning hand on that. All games are refereed by Poker Cat, the official game referee of the Syndicate. Loves playing chip chasing, comes out of the litter box at 9 years old. He is the ace of the Syndicate. And he one time did not beg for treats during a game while trying to referee. Most significant member of the Syndicate Poker Club, Poker Cat. Got 3 hearts on the board, 7 queen 8. Casely going 800. Jammer folding it out. Casely with the ace high, nut flush. They talk about the nut flush or the nuts in poker. That means you have the best hand of that hand. Not the best hand that ever could be made, but you have the best hand possible in that, the best winning hand possible. How do I say this? It's going on 3 o'clock in the morning, folks. What do you want from me? I do my comedic shit at 4 o'clock in the morning. Ace 4 king on the board. Boss showing ace 8. The time window for the game is about to close here for the late registration, so this will be about all we're going to see tonight. For the Syndicate. Game 5 of the World Shift Series. You can check out the leaderboards over at syndicatepokerclub.com for all of the different games that they play. One of which is coming up. A little variation of playing poker. Forking ace hole showing pocket rockets here. And we'll take Biggie Large out with full house, aces over eights. So that will do that one in. As we check in on our leaderboard here, folks, we forgot to do that. Forking Ace right now with the chip lead. Slight little chip lead right now over Casely. And Jammer, Freak Child, Millie, and Boss following out. Biggie Large going out 7th. King 9 King on the board. The flop. Millie will check it. Casely checks it. Boss checks it around, and we will see the next card for free. It's a 5 of spades. Millie checks it out. Casely says, I want to check it. Everybody wants free cards on this hand. 3 of hearts comes on the river. And the 3 of hearts is what won it for Casely with 2 pair of kings over 3s with the 9 kicker. Not a whole lot going on out there. That's why everybody was pretty much checking the whole hand. Millie will fold it out. Casely's out. Freak Child checks his option. Checks it over to Boss. Boss goes 4. Freak Child calls it. 9 of diamonds on the turn. Boss going another 4. And an 8 of hearts to finish it out with a pair on the board. Boss checks it. Had the king on the flop. Freak Child had a pair of pocket 7s. Five, 8, 6, rainbowed up. Freak Child checks it. But we're not going to play that yet until we get this hand out of the way. Everybody's checking it out with the Queen of Diamonds on the river. Freak Child folds it out, or checks it out. Millie in the action with a 400 bet from Acer. Casely will stay. Freak Child did fold out. And Acer with the River of Tears. That's cool because that's a song we're going to play next. It's the River Gets Him. So We will be back on the mic shortly. Enjoy the game. This is the Syndicate Poker Club World Shift, game number 5 of an 8-game qualifying series being played at pokernow.club, a free-to-play poker client where you can play too.
This one's for the grinders, the ghosts of bankrolls past, and everyone who's ever lost to a guy named Ricky, holding 6-9 offsuit on a prayer.
I had the nuts on the turn, felt like a king, counting my chips, hearing the angels sing. He called my shove like he couldn't care less, said let's see what happens, oh no this fucking ass. Board paired the river, my soul took a hit, he slow rolled me quads while eating Cool Ranch chips. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and luck disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes. Now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. Another day, another dollar lost. Flopped a straight thought, I'll show him who's boss. He called with 2 pair, weak as can be. Then the board paired up naturally. He fist bumped the guy in a Scooby-Doo hat while I stared at the felt flat on my back. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and luck disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes. Now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. I once believed in math, in discipline, in range, but now I believe in bad beats and emotional change. They say variance, I say witchcraft. They say don't tilt, I say laugh on my behalf. Cashed out my chips, walked into the night, past the neon sign and the soda Sprite light. My bankroll's gone, but my soul remains, scarred by maniacs and psychic pains. If you see me wandering with hollow eyes, just know the river's where my sanity lies. Down by the river of tears, where straights get cracked and you face your fears. It's not just the cards, it's the pain of the peers who hit runner and then cheers. Yeah, I'll see you again on that river of tears.
Well, what an appropriate song for online poker. The River of Tears. We pop into some new action on another hand. Hope you all are enjoying our broadcast. Subscribe, hit the button, or the bell, or the whatever you're supposed to hit. We don't know. Whatever that is to subscribe and catch some of our games later on. A lot of different interesting games with the Syndicate happening. As we said, we've got another game series that's running with the Syndicate right now, which is Secret Bounty. You can find out more about that at syndicatepokerclub.com. They're running that one until the 13th of September. Interesting little game variant there. Somebody's got a price on their head for that game. And nobody knows who it is until the game is over. So somebody's got a bounty and somebody collects that bounty, but nobody will ever know who it is until the end of the game. A different way to grab some extra points and whatnot from the leaderboard. That one's running for 8 weeks, and that one will see a final table as well. So a little intro into some of the games that the Syndicate plays with their little mascot there, who runs the club. Playing over at pokernow.club. Check them out. Pokernow.club. Free poker. Poker with friends. All completely free to play. There's added benefits if you buy the subscription, but no money. It's not a casino site. It's completely free to play at pokernow.club. So we got a pair of fives on the board with a jack. So that would be a Jackson fives. Get it? Jackson 5. Casely's 800 will take it down. $200, $400 on the blinds. Those will be going up here shortly. We'll be popping up to $300, $600 on the blind bets. Reach out checks his option with Jack 7 on the flop. Everybody checking around so far. Millie says no. 400 on that. Freechild will go along for the ride. With an ace on the river. Could it be another river of tears? No, not quite. Millie's pair of nines will beat Freechild's little 7 sitting in there with his 7 deuce. Considered the worst hand in poker. Biggie Large, who went out 7th in the game. Syndicate overall, though, is 6th place. He's old. He's annoyed by clocks. An ongoing joke with the Syndicate because was consistently late. But notable poker accolade for him at this point is he's been showing up for games on time, almost every game, if not early. Dragging everybody into the game with him, pretty much. Bosco's 1350 with the pocket kings. Good bet there. Betting that one probably to get everybody out of the hand before they caught. Blinds are 300, 600. Everybody's limping in so far. Acer will not limp in for the extra 300, being on the small blind. Jammer in the hot seat with a 10-3 queen on the board. For the flop. Checks it over to Casely. Who is timing out at the moment. Freechild goes all in for 800. That'll be enough to get Jammer out of there. And Casely will pop out of there as well. Freechild showing a big slick. Ace King. Chasing a draw there. Millie's under the gun. She will get out. Casely will limp in. Jammer will do the same. Boss checks the action. Ace deuce of spades with the 5 of hearts. Boss goes 6. Over to Casely. Jammer will call the 600. Another 5 on the board. Both players check it. The 9 of diamonds on the river, and Jammer's pocket 6s will hold up for 2 pairs, 6s over 5s. And the ace on the board being the kicker in play. Leaderboard. Sitting with Forking Ace. At about 83. Jammer and Casely rounding out the other 2 top 3 spots. With Boss, Millie, and Freakchild still in the game. Biggie Large going out in 7th. Only 7 players in today's game. Another 3 comes on the river. Both players check. Jammer will take that. With the ace-queen playing for the high cards with a pair of 3s. Freakchild hopping out of that one. Jammer limping in for the 6. Millie's out for the extra 3. Casely on the option. And Casely will time out on that one. 10-5-4. Casely checking it over to Jammer. Another diamond in the form of a king on the turn. Casely timing out, checking. And another 10 on the end. Bookending the 4-5 king with 2 10s. Casely timing out, checked over to Jammer, who will take that one down with the ace-9 helping out there. Syndicate playing a little bit more than just Omaha, or I'm sorry, just let's not get ahead of ourselves. Playing a little bit more than just Texas Hold'em. They also have a Omaha series it's running right now. Omaha Overdrive. That one will be running till September 8th, playing every Monday over on pokernow.club. Everybody's getting delved into that. So Syndicate not just playing Texas Hold'em, playing a little Omaha all at the same time. As they play all these different series going on Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and everything else. So they got a lot going on with the Syndicate. And Jammer will take that one as they check it all the way down. Casely's action again. As it looks like she is timing out. Freechild will go 6. As we see an 8, 9, ace on the board. Freechild checks it out. As do the other two players, Acer and Jammer. Freechild checks it over to Acer, checks it over to Jammer. They all check it down, and Freechild will take that one with a 7. 8's over 7 to pair with an ace kicker. Most of the board playing on that one. Once again, in Texas Hold'em, the best 5 cards win, and sometimes that means it may not be the cards in your hand end up winning the hand. What they call the board playing might end up making it so that all players win the hand, which brings in chop suey and some more soy sauce. 3 and 2 deuces, followed by a jack. Freechild betting the pot there for 15. Jammer's out. Lines will be going up here shortly in just a few seconds. And as they do get ready to do that, let's take a peek at our leaderboard real quick. Jammer taking over the leads now. About $2,000 over Forking Ace Hole. Casey still sitting in third. Followed by Boss Freechild. Millie bringing up the rear now. As we continue on with Game 5 of the 8-game qualifying series, World Shift. Oh God, 30 in the morning. In the U.S. at least. Not so much for Millie and Jammer, who are in Australia. We'll be back in a second.
I played it tight, like the books all say. Laid down queens just the other day. Did the math, felt real mature. Didn't trust that board, I was feeling sure. Then she showed Jack 5, hit a boat by fluke, and I died a little inside, sipping warm kombucha. I folded a full house, Lord help me now. Was trying to be wise, didn't want to kowtow. They're shoving with nothing, I'm playing it sound, and every bad player is taking me down. Next hand I flop trips, feeling the flow. Then some dude insta jams like a TV show. I tank and fold, say nice hand, real kind. He flips over 6 high like he lost his mind. He says I had a blocker, then orders a Coke, and I question my career and all of my hopes. I folded a full house, I let it go. They shove with there and still steal the show. Every read I make is painfully right, but poker gods ghosted me out of spite. I study the charts, I play like a pro. They're eating hot dogs and winning the dough. One guy said I don't even how to play, then turned quads and skipped away. I'm dreaming of bingo, where the rules make sense, 'cause this table's a circus and I'm on the fence. I folded a full house, can't sleep at night. They're raising with Uno cards out of spite. I'm begging the dealer to just deal me out, while Chad goes all in with the mustard stain shout. So next time I see it, I might just call, even if the board's paired with 4 overcards and a flush draw. I've been here before, under pressure and lights, reading faces through the silence of fights. Cards come and go, but the will stays tight. Every chip I earn is a scar made right. Bluffs can breathe and lies can run, but the river speaks when the deal is done. Stacks just numbers, hearts the test. Patience plays while ego rests. You can't fake fire, you can't fake grit, and every lost soul folds when it's lit. The chips don't lie, they tell the tale of battles fought when logic failed. They show who breaks, who stands up tall. When the blinds rise and empires fall, you can bluff the table, bluff the sky. But when the dust clears, the chips don't lie. Stacked against fate, I've made my run. Built from dust, what fear undone. Lost it all, clawed it back. One big blind, one narrow track. I've read the tales and I've played the ghost, but the chips remember who needs it most. Stacks just numbers, hearts the test. Patience plays while ego rests. You can't fake fire, you can't fake grit, and every lost soul folds when it's lit. The chips don't lie, they tell the tale of battles fought when logic failed. They show who breaks, who stands up tall. When the blinds rise and empires fall, you can bluff the table, bluff the sky. But when the dust clears, the chips don't lie. You can fold the truth, hide behind the eyes, but chips record every whisper, every rise. They don't forget, they never blink, they sit and wait while players sink. The chips don't lie, they write the song of those who knew where they belong. No shortcut home, no lucky ride, just guts and grind and time on your side. You can run from doubt, but you can't deny when it's heads up for glory. The chips don't lie.
Well, we are back with the Syndicate Poker Club's Game 5 of the World Shift qualifying portion of the series. 8 games to get to the top of the leaderboards and qualify for the final table to take home the Syndicate's World Shift bracelet. Actually, it's a watch this time. Players actually playing for little trinkets of trophies in the form of bracelets, now watches. They went with a watch this time because, well, it's World Shift. It's all about the time, so. Winning player will get a coveted Syndicate World Shift Champion watch that they can wear proudly in the privacy of their own home, because who would want to wear that kind of shit in public? As we take a peek at a new board, Jammer and Freak going at it, with Millie coming in next. Millie bringing up the rear, holding on to 475 chips in her stack at the moment. 800's enough to get Freakchild out of there. Jammer's going to take it up a double, the big blind, to 16. Casely in the hot seat. Casely will time out yet again. Freakchild will fold it out. Acer will fold it out. Jammer's bet will be enough. Take it without a flop. Millie not going for it yet. Millie will be all in one way or the other here pretty quick. As Casely times out. Freakchild will limp in there. 10 deuce queen. Rainbowed up. Boss will go 8. Freakchild will limp in with that as well. Ace of spades on the turn. Both players check. And an 8 of clubs to finish it out. And Boss will take that with pocket sixes. Well, Millie's out of this hand. She will be all in next hand. Blind, as we call it, because she will have to put in that bet before the cards are dealt. So Millie will be all in next hand. Pre-flop. And nobody wants to play with Boss on that one, who is coming in hot at this point. Taking the chip lead for the first time we've seen in a hot minute. Pretty much double up the second place player right now. Freakchild ends up having to go all in at 800. And Boss will call it. It's going to be a big race. Ace Jack against pocket nines, pocket sevens. Boss leading with the pocket nines. And Millie will survive. Freakchild will not. So Freakchild will pop out of the game in 6th. As we continue on, Millie able to squeak that one by on the river there. So Boss still with a commanding lead right now. As Millie will mill that one over and say no thank you. Casely and Casely will be leaving the game as we move forward. Forking ace hole going out. Or going all in, excuse me. 6, 7. Looking for the straight. Will not catch it. And Jammer will take that one out. And that will put Acer out in 4th. As Millie takes on Jammer and Boss. Battle of the Australians against the American. Rumor has it she's actually Canadian, Boss. Could be a lie. Not sure. 2-4-2 on the board. Rainbowed. With an ace of spades. Jammer will check it. Boss coming in with a big bet. Trying to take Jammer all in. Ace queen. Ace on the turn gave her a top pair. 2 pair if you want to count the 2s on the board. Boss just kicking everybody's ass, being the boss of everybody at the table all of a sudden. Millie all in. Blind with a king 4 against a queen deuce. It's a big race here, really. And looks like Millie will survive. With a high card, a king. Millie lives to play another hand. But folds it out on that one, giving Jammer a few more chips. Millie says no as the button. Jammer says no as Boss will take that with no sweat. Millie with already 1,000 in the pot just checks it. 5 king queen. 2 diamonds. Millie checks it over to Jammer. 3 of spades on the turn. Double checked. Millie checks it down to Jammer. Millie will take that and start building back up to, what are we at, 2,800 there. And now has to dump another 5 down for the big blind. Blind's at 501,000. Boss going up, 3 betting it there to pretty much almost bring Jammer all in, but not quite. Ace 9 jack. 2 diamonds. Now Jammer's all in. Boss calls quickly. Boss looking for a straight here. Looking for the queen. That does not come. So with trip aces, Jammer will take that one down. Millie heads out in the button. Boss in a small blind. Calls the big blind and limps in. 7-3 deuce. $1,300 from Boss to try and take Millie all in was enough. Showed off a whopping pair of 3s. Millie coming down to the wire again, limping in for the extra 5. Eight, 9, 10. Rainbowed up. Millie will go all in. As Jammer has a good think about it and says no thanks. That'll put Millie back up to 2350. Still hanging on for dear life. And Boss will take that one with the ace-6 suited of clubs. The Syndicate, from time to time, inviting players from all over poker now to Open House. Another one coming soon. Take on the Syndicate in a free roll tourney as the Syndicate hosts Open House number 2 coming soon to a poker room game at Poker Now near you. I don't know, I made that up. I don't make things up very well, but I do sometimes. But not that time. Don't you know? Millie will fold out of that with being the small blind. Jammer going up. Boss will call. 2 8s on the board. And Jammer will take that with a queen on the river helping him out. Once again, like we said, the river of tears. There it was. Millie will have to call all in for this one if she wants to play. Jammer out. Boss will take a few bucks. Millie all in blind at 850. Everybody folds to her, so she will get a little bump back. Hanging in for the game. And the blinds will be going up next hand, as they will go up to 600, 1200. Millie all in and surviving yet again. First with a pair of jacks, but finished it off with 2 pair. Aces over. Jammer in the small blind at 6. Syndicate Poker Club playing over at Poker Now. Free poker with friends. Started off as a Discord poker client. Now it's a worldwide phenomena. Say Worcestershire phenomenon that has become one of the more exclusive, shall we say, free poker sites on the web. PokerNow.club. Check them out. All free. 100%. Build games, build tournaments, play games, play tournaments, all for free. Over at PokerNow.club. Home of the Syndicate Poker Club. Currently playing Game 5 of the World Shift Game Series. They're already halfway through the series, so it won't be long till we find out who the leaderboard's going to be and who's going to be sitting at their final table for the coveted watch. All in for Millie at an extra 100. This one not looking good for her. And that will do Millie in with a very valiant, hard-fought ending battle there to take third. So here we are, heads up, Boss and Jammer. Jammer asking Boss to be gentle. as she has a 2-1 lead over Jammer at the moment. But he'll take a few chips and add that into his stack. Blinds at 600, 1200. Syndicate Poker Club, playing for free, but playing for real. They play as serious as they would as if they were playing with real money. The theory is if you're going to play a game, try to play it as well as you can, regardless of whether you're not making money at it. Just like Monopoly, it's not real, it's all free, but you play the best you can in order to win, right? So that's how the Syndicate Poker Club plays. A lot of hearts on that board. I think we'll be seeing a flush here. Boss checking it over to Jammer. They both check it. Boss did indeed have the flush with the 9 playing. Taking her lead just a little bit higher. Two 5s and a king on the flop. Ten of spades as boss throws out 12. That'll take Jammer out of that one. Jammer limps in for the extra 6. Boss with the option. We'll check it down with 6-6 ace. Rainbowed up. Ten of hearts. Jammer will go with 12. Boss out. Boss going up over the top. Jammer saying no to that. Folding out his big blind. Nine, queen, 5 as we see a flop. Rainbow again. Once again, a rainbow flop means one of each suit out there. In this case, it was a diamond, heart, and club. Jack 7 of clubs with a 4 of spades. $17 all in for Jammer. Boss with the upper hand on this one, and this will do it against Jammer's pocket threes. Boss will win game number 5 of the Syndicate World Shift Series. With Jammer taking second, Millie taking third. And that puts our leaderboard for this game. Boss in first, Jammer second, Millie third. Acer went out fourth. Followed out by Casely Fruitchild and Biggie Large. Biggie Large, the Biggie Bully, going out first in this game in 7th place. Small game tonight. Usually see about 9 to 10 players on these games, but not in the middle of this week. Only 7 players. But they will all earn points towards the leaderboard for the World Shift leaderboard, which you can check out over at the Syndicate Poker Club's main website, syndicatepokerclub.com. And with that, we are out of here, folks. We hope you have a good time watching our thing, subscribe, or like it, or bell it, or whatever it is you do. And we will see you on the next broadcast. Could be Secret Bounty coming up on Saturday, right here on YouTube or Twitch. SyndicatePokerClub.com, playing for free over at PokerNow.club. We will see you on the next one.